There are a lot of indie games coming to the Switch. Hello my friends, it's August 28th, 2018, and for today's big story we are talking about the insane amount of indies that are making their way to the Switch eShop. Some are out right now, some are coming soon, some are coming early 2019, but Nintendo showed off a ton of indie Switch titles. Nintendo recently held an indie presentation for European gamers, but obviously everybody around the world watches that. And then after that we found out they were going to do one for North America too, and again that pertains to pretty much everybody. Well, specifically I guess we'll say North America and Europe, but a lot of them are going to Japan as well. So when you combine those two together, there's just a ton of indie games to pick from. I put together a list of every game that was in both presentations, and I'm going to run through it for you. We have Children of Morta, Windjammers, Windjammers 2, Slay the Spire, Nightcall, Terraria, Streets of Rogue, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Everspace Stellar Edition, Moonlighter, Baba Is You, The War of Mine, This War of Mine, The Gardens Between, Morphe's Law, Prison Architect, Bad North, Into the Breach, Hyperlight Drifter, Towerfall, Treasure Stack, Zarvat, Mineko's Night Market, Samurai Gun 2, Bullet Age, The World Next Door, Levelhead, King of the Hat, Untitled Goose Game, The Messenger, Bastion, Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, Undertale, Lightfinger, Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP, Jackbox Party Pack 5, Transistor, Desert Trial, Dragon Marks for Death, and then there's other games that were confirmed today that weren't even in the press release, or in the presentation, like Chasm. Chasm was rumored a couple days ago, now confirmed, but not part of the presentation. Then there's stuff that wasn't even in the presentation that was talked about months ago, and we've still been waiting on stuff like ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove. That's still coming this year. We now know it's coming out. It should be out before the end of November, they said. Then there's stuff that was teased that we didn't get a confirmation of yet in the presentation. Either one, stuff like Rain World. And then on top of that, there's games that are very likely to come to Switch, but we don't have any mention of any platform. Stuff like Streets of Rage 4. So, by and large, the majority of these games are coming to Switch, and there's a lot more coming too. There's a whole bunch of games that weren't talked about in either presentation that are coming to the Switch that are indie titles. It's just insanity. There's so much to keep up with. Guybones has a comment over on Go Nintendo, and he says, well, just spent the rest of my eShop funds to preload Hyperlight Drifter, Towerfall, and Undertale. Also, can't wait for Samurai Gun 2 and Swords and Sorcery. The Switch is the perfect system for so many games, especially couch multiplayer. Yeah, that is definitely the case. There's just too much to keep up with. I would imagine people have played some of these games on other platforms, but maybe if you missed out on them on other platforms, you can pick them up on the Switch. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of Switch, or a lot of indie developers see that happen with their games. No matter how many years they've been out on other platforms, people are either eager to dive back in on Switch, or just missed it the first time around and are getting it for the first time on Switch. I put together a quick list of the games I'm really excited for. This is by no means the full list of games I'm excited for, but I didn't want to rattle off all those titles again and tell you why I'm excited, but these are the ones I'm really looking forward to. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, I just love that franchise, and we had the wonderful Wonder Boy remake. This is done by different people, but same kind of game. It looks like they're putting a lot of care into it, so I'm excited for that one. Then there's The Gardens Between. I mean, look at this game. How could you not want this game? It looks weird, it looks interesting, it looks completely unique. I just love it. Then there's Hyperlight Drifter, which I never played on any system because originally the developers were talking about bringing it to the Wii U, but that didn't happen, so I just kind of let it go. But now it's coming to Switch. It's the special edition with some extra content that you're not going to get in any other version, so yeah, I'm definitely going to pick it up there. Then there's Untitled Goose Game, which I've actually been tracking for a while now. I'm so happy to see that it's coming to Switch. I can't deny it. This is one of my most anticipated games as far as Switch indie stuff goes. It just looks so weird and fun. I can't wait to try it. And then, like I mentioned earlier, ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove. I'm a huge fan of ToeJam and Earl, and I've been patiently waiting for this game to come out. Now we're finally going to see it before the year closes out. Like I said, the developers just said that it'll be out before the end of November, and that includes on Switch, so oh man, I'm such a fan of the series. The last game that came out for it, which was what? I don't know what it was called. Was it ToeJam and Earl 3? It was on the Xbox, like the original Xbox. Wasn't too big of a fan of it, and I know for a while there the developers were thinking about doing a DS version of ToeJam and Earl, but for whatever reason they couldn't find a publisher for it, so long story short, they went to Kickstarter, got it funded, now it's coming to the Switch. It's just a small handful of games that I'm looking forward to. I don't have the time to play any of them, but I'm really looking forward to all of them. Alright, my friends, that's today's big story for August 28th, 2018. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow for whatever tomorrow's big story is, and I sure hope you'll join me to check it out. So until then, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.